Today, my reading is called Shine by Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others will not feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We are born to manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just some of us, it is all of us. As we let our own light shine, we give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others from their fear. May we all give ourselves permission to shine today so that the truth is reflected in all of us.
So when I was putting the service together this week, that song was in the loop to be played. And when I was typing it up or typing up the order of service, I'm looking like, oh, Amazing Grace. You know, we haven't sung that for a while. We haven't had it on for a while. And then it kind of dawned on me. I didn't know much about it. I didn't know much about that song. It's something I've heard since I've been a kid. It's more Christian based than what we normally play at ISC. But I did a little look at where Amazing Grace came from. And if I can remember all of this correctly, or parts of it correctly, this was actually written in the 1700s. And it was written by a gentleman, I think the first name was John, the last name I think was Newton, where he was in his life. He was somebody who worked on the ships that brought slaves into this country. And he looked at his life at one point in time during this and said, something's wrong here. This isn't right. The action that I'm doing, not that I'm the captain, not that I'm making this decision, but because I'm a part of this thing that's going on, I am just as guilty. I am just as guilty as anybody else in taking away somebody's freedom, people's freedom. And as time went on, he stepped away from that job, so to speak. He became an abolitionist and he became a minister, and he wrote that song. And when you listen to the words, it is a struggle. It comes to me, or I hear it as a struggle of understanding, a struggle of lesson, a struggle of, am I doing something that I should be doing? Shouldn't I be doing this? What is my next step? And then finding the answer within his connection to what he calls grace or God or the Lord or Savior. That is his terminology in this work of in his lyrics, this song that he put together. And it really did make me stop for a minute and think about, if we switched out grace with spirit, because our comfort zone in spiritualism is more using the word spirit. If we substitute spirit for grace and look at those words, what does it talk about? Because there's a word in there that doesn't always perhaps resonate right with you or me or somebody, it doesn't mean we should not listen to what the meanings are or what the thought is about somebody's song or poem or talk or lyric or whatever it happens to be. And if you look at what we do in spiritualism, we connect with grace, We connect with spirit. We connect for a reason, not just for party favors. We connect for a reason of support, of understanding, of lessons, of all of those things that this man in his life went through in questioning, looking at, trying to resolve, trying to work through, trying to work on. And isn't that what we all do? We all have lessons in this world, in this life. Some may be very different than this gentleman went through in the way he went through it, but the meaning behind it may be there. Somebody may be very involved in something that's going on in our society that you may feel is incorrect, or you may feel is not fair, or you may feel is not right, is not human, whatever it is. And we go through these struggles of lessons of humanity, what is best for all man and womankind. And we go through these lessons individually. How many people in your own thought, in your own understanding, in your own journey here have made it to this point without having to look at anything in life? I can't put my hand up for that. I don't think anybody really can put their hand up for that, because everything that has brought us to this place and time in your life, and I don't mean the center, I mean where you are in your life at this time, has come out of struggle, has come out of choice, has come out of looking at difficult situations and deciding whether you're staying in it or you're moving out of it. How many people, and you don't need to raise your hand on this, it's just kind of that collective question. How many people have gone through heartbreak? Whether it's personal or whether it's heartbreak for somebody else. How many people have gone through a death of somebody that they loved, a breakup with somebody that they loved, a change of job of something that was not, that they didn't want to do, that it was just kind of forced on them? How many people have family members who no longer talk to you or are not available to you because of choices they made? They made. Because why? We have free will. And what we do with those lessons, what we do with that pain, what we do with that joy, what we do with our next step is how we get from one part of our life to the next. It doesn't come easy. It doesn't come free. It doesn't come without thought. It comes with a lot of hard work, a lot of hard work. And we may go through periods of our life where we kind of just float along on the breeze for a little bit. And then what happens is a windstorm comes up and moves us to a different space, a different direction, a different road, a different path. Or the rain comes and we can't fly because our wings are wet. And we have to find a different way to live. And in some ways, a different way to survive. Because when these storms hit, a lot of times we cannot see, think, or feel what the next step is. We're kind of paralyzed. I don't know if anybody's had that. I know I have had that in my life, where you don't know what to do next. You don't know how to tackle the next thing. But something really amazing about the human spirit to me is that if we allow just a moment or two or three or 1 or 2 days or months or years, things change, things happen. We make a different decision. And because we also understand that we can connect to the energy that has moved before us, that's around us all the time, the spirit of the energetic spiritual world, our families, our friends, our guides, our teachers, people we've never met before, but may be circling in their energy just to give us that next inspired thought. just to give us perhaps the courage to take that next step, just to give us a moment to regroup and find our way again, wait for the storm to lift and see where we go from there. I found, to me, that getting to know the spirit world and getting to work with the spirit world, is not something that only special people should be doing. Because we are a soul within a body, we all have the right to connect with the spirit world. We all have that ability. Nobody has a gift. If I hear that one more time, I'm probably going to have to take a different path, a different decision, because nobody has a gift. We all have it. It's not somebody's special and somebody's not because they work with the spirit world. We have a divine right as a soul, as a part of the bigger picture, as a part of the connection to all, to work with the spirit world anytime we want. I always say my biggest job before I die from this particular thing that we call life is to put myself out of work, put myself out of a job as a medium, because everybody has that ability. Everybody, if they want to, can make those connections, and everybody can listen within themselves for that next direction. I've also learned with the spirit world that we can learn how to live spiritually in this world before we go into their world, before we move into that energetic world that we call the spirit world, heaven, the spiritual plane, whatever words you put on it, that we can live in a way that connects us not only to the spirit world, but connects us soul to soul to soul here. And when we connect soul to soul here, we feel other people's pain. We feel other people's injustices. We feel other people's not knowing where they are in that storm. Not so easy sometimes. Not so easy. But where we can balance it is by giving a thought, by putting a hand on somebody's shoulder, by giving them an Eleanor hug, by giving them a moment of your time, whether it's in person or whether it's energetic. So Amazing Grace is about somebody's experience 300 years ago. But we can move that into 2026 and see it still goes on. Injustice still goes on. Difficulty still goes on. What can we as an individual do about it? Maybe just that. Maybe just that, of the connection of soul to soul and soul to spirit, and see where that guidance brings us to, where we can see the storm lift, where we can take a next step for ourselves, for humanity, for all. So we are very good at talking about the individual. We have different ways that we look. We have different jobs. We have different interests. We have different friends. We have different this. We have different that. Some people live in a home. Some people or a house. Some people live in a different kind of home. And we're very good at separating each other. I'm different than you because. And maybe what we can do when we talk about Amazing Grace, when we talk about connection to the spirit world, when we talk about soul to soul connection, maybe we can look at it from a we, not an I. So if you get a chance to look at those words, Amazing Grace, in the song, don't necessarily, or try not to look at them as, oh, this is a Christian-based song, because it is. It is. You know, we don't talk in spiritualism about God or spirit or Jesus being savior. We talk about our connection as a human group to a group in the spirit world. We talk about the energetic connection of people, not individual connection. But take a look at those words, understand the struggle that one man was going through when he wrote this, and the choice that he made, not only for himself, but as a soul of humanity. So all I can ask of myself, I can't ask it of anybody else, but all I can ask of myself is that I remember that in the times when it's not so easy to remember that. And that I remember that I'm not any different. You're not any different. We're not any different. We are human beings that share this planet, that share this ride, that share this craziness sometimes. And how do we do it? Can affect, can support, can help somebody else. So thank you for your listening. Thank you for considering to look at that song in a different way. And perhaps Amazing Grace becomes Amazing Spirit. Thank you, everybody.